The unfortunate thing about electricity is that you can't keep a couple of jerry cans full of it in the garage for an emergency. The connection to the grid must be on if you want the benefit of the supply. And in the event of natural disasters, the first thing to go is frequently that electricity supply. Many households in remote areas prepare for this by having a diesel or petrol generator to provide electricity when the connection to the grid is cut. And they will make sure there is plenty of fuel on hand to run the generator and to top up the vehicles if an urgent evacuation is required. But what will happen in the net zero future when everything depends on electricity? When portable generators might not be available and when even our vehicles are completely reliant on a functioning grid connection? If you're after EV and net zero sanity, you've come to the right place. If you like this kind of content, it would be great to have you as a subscriber, and don't forget to enable all notifications so you never miss another video. Two stories at opposite ends of the planet, from Scotland in the UK and Queensland here in Australia, have highlighted just how fragile the electricity grid can be in the face of storms and other natural disasters, and how relying on it for our vehicles may be very dangerous indeed. Firstly, from the UK, homes have second night without power after Storm Gerrit. Sorry to interrupt, but note how the UK now names all of these storms to ramp up the level of fear and anxiety in the population. These aren't proper tropical storms like hurricanes or cyclones, which have been named for years, but just slightly stronger versions of your typical Atlantic low-pressure systems, of the kind that barrel across the British Isles pretty much every week of the year. Back when I was growing up there, we just got on with it. But now they have named storms with red and amber warnings, and everyone has to cower under the stairs when it gets a bit windy. Geez. Around 1,500 homes have another night without power after Storm Gerrit brought snow and floods to Scotland. Power company SSEN said it had managed to restore supplies to more than 46,000 properties, with residents in the North East and Shetland worst affected. And coincidentally, a similar picture is emerging from Queensland. Homes without power in southeast Queensland on Christmas Day after severe weather, as the Bureau warns more storms to come. Hundreds of Queenslanders are facing Christmas Day without power after wild storms lashed parts of the state, as the Bureau of Meteorology warns the wet weather is not over yet. Some Queenslanders are facing Christmas Day without power after severe storms ripped through parts of the state. Wild thunderstorms lashed southeast Queensland about midday on Sunday and brought large hail, damaging winds and intense rainfall. Many homes are still without power following the destructive weather, which also downed more than 100 power lines. As of 8:15 a.m. AEST on Christmas morning, 1,167 homes were without power in southeast Queensland, according to the Energex website. Check out my earlier video about a speech in the Australian Parliament which raised the potential problems of an all-EV fleet in the event of a natural disaster.
When towns and communities, whole towns and communities are told to evacuate, how will they get away from the fires, the cyclones or floods when there is little or no charge left in their batteries? Where and how far will we have to go to charge our vehicles or find a charging station that actually works? And if we do, how long will the queues be?
If you cannot charge your vehicle, what happens if you're required to evacuate? What happens when the public charging stations are out of order for days on end? Would we still be allowed to use diesel or petrol generators to charge the EVs, albeit extremely slowly? The reality is that you can tip a few litres of fuel from a can into a car in a matter of seconds and have enough range to get you out of danger. But in the event of an emergency or natural disaster, would you trust your life and those of your family to an EV? Anyway, that's just about it for this one. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think. If you've got any tips or stories, you can hit me up on Instagram or by email. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye for now.